right, I want to welcome everybody to Calculus 2. Um, Before we begin, make sure that you mute your mics, and also I'm going to cut my video off in just a minute. If you'll cut your video off and put it on light display or something, that way we can have plenty of bandwidth memory and won't have any interruptions. But I want to welcome you guys to Calculus 2, Math 1132. And right now, me and my family are going through a bunch of health issues right now. So that's why I'm having first class at home. And for now, best way to contact me is through my email, or you can, probably best thing to do is use the Blackboard email, and that way I'll be able to get in touch with you quicker. Throughout this lecture, if you have any questions, because all I'm going to do today is just go over the syllabus and all the course requirements. But along the way, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me and ask live, or you can type it in the chat box if you want to. So let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Okay, this is the course home for Calculus 2 in Blackboard. And let's see here. And just have a new sign-in process. You will go to the Central Georgia Tech homepage, and you would come up here as single sign-on, and then just sign in with whatever user information is. And then you'll see your apps. You'll probably have, instructors got more apps than students, but you'll definitely have Blackboard and email. So here's Blackboard, and I already got a few announcements for calculus. The course menu is to the left. And the very first announcement, in order to remain on the course roster, go ahead and do the intro questionnaire under lessons in Blackboard. You must do that to establish attendance and stay on the course roster. So it's pretty easy. I think it's like one question maybe. And submit that before noon this coming Tuesday. Now, the learning modules folder, I had to go ahead and open, make that appear. So, but you still got to do the intro questionnaire in order to stay in the class. I got old lecture videos on my YouTube channel, starting with lesson 12. I think anything before that you should be good. There's my username, and also you just type in 1132. Now, under course information, I got my faculty information here, my number. Best way to reach me is through Blackboard email. Until things settle down, my family, best way to reach me is through email. I'll go over the syllabus in just a few minutes. And here's the schedule. I'll go over that also in just a little bit. The important thing is that you need to go ahead and get the what's called the My Math Lab access code. Now, if you've taken a Cal 1 before, you may not need to purchase another code. So if you have already taken 1131, you may not need another code. The old one may work. I'm not 100% sure. So just contact the bookstore, please, the CGTC bookstore, or you can reach out to Pearson. They're the ones who do my math lab code. What I would do is try my old code, and if it don't work, then that lets you know you got to buy another one. Other announcements are on here. You can read those on your own. Once you get if you have to buy your code, then you just click on these directions. You'll have to go to a third party. The website is on the bottom of your receipt, and you'll just have to follow the directions to enroll in my math lab. Now, when you finally enroll in my math lab may ask you for a course ID. Course ID is no longer required for our math classes. So just sign out, log back in, go to I'll show you the course home where it's at in just a minute. And probably under your settings, delete your temporary browser history and also your cookies. And it may get rid of that course ID prompt. All right, let's go over. Okay, got a question here in the chat. Let me see. If we've already purchased a new code for my math lab, would the old code potentially working interfere with submitting the new code? I don't think so. Since you've already bought a new code, just use that one. That way you know for sure it will work. Did that answer your question okay? Okay, cool. Again, I'm not 100% sure, so you may need to ask the bookstore, but I think since you already bought the new code, go ahead and use that one so you'll know you got a code that works at least. Okay, now I want to show you where to access my math lab. So you go under lessons, and the orientation exercises are optional. It kind of walks you through Blackboard, but I think everybody's pretty much familiar with Blackboard. Here's the first assignment intro questionnaire that you got to do to stay in the class. Now, you may already have access to my math lab, but that does not count for establishing attendance. You still have to do this intro questionnaire to get to stay on the roster. The submit work drop boxes, I'll explain those later. You go to learning modules, and here are the directions on how to sign up in my math lab if you need them. But here's the My Math Lab course home that you click on. And the first time around, you're not going to see any of this. You'll have to agree to some contractual obligations, legal mumbo jumbo, just standard stuff. And then you'll just follow the directions and enter your access code. Once you're done and you're ready to look around, you have an electronic textbook that's included, so you don't need a physical book. Multimedia Library also has videos made by Pearson or the Pearson author. And when you get ready to start, just click on assignments. And you got the assignments. Everything's already open for the semester, so you can work at your own pace. The study guides for the quizzes are not for grade. The only study guides that are for a grade are the ones for the midterm and the final. And they're just, I believe, regular homework grades. The lessons are actually homework assignments, and you have, for the most part, unlimited attempts. And there's no time limit for the homework. Each quiz, though, has two attempts, and I keep the highest of the two attempts. And the quizzes are timed. You have 240 minutes per quiz. Now, if you notice, well, before this, um, most of the assignments actually have help buttons, including Ask My Instructor, which will send me a link to the question and I can help you directly. I think the quizzes also have a few help buttons, maybe like view an example. There may come a time where I will have to remove some questions that I know I'm not going to cover in class. So if I have to remove questions, you'll get a notice when you try to do that question that your instructor has removed it and you've already received credit for it. So that will happen from time to time. If you get kicked out of a quiz or the one of the exams, email me immediately, or you can go through Blackboard and email me. That way, I can get you back in. Are there any questions or concerns at this point?
The only thing I was wondering about was if there's any time we can come up to the actual classroom outside of the class schedule, just because I have class at the same time that we usually do these meetings. um,
Okay. Um, yeah, this class is scheduled from 2 to 3:15, and uh, A238 if you're close to Warner Robins, and H room 328 if you're close to the Macon campus. I will let you guys know when I start coming to both campuses once everything settles down. But normally, what I do is like, just for example, Tuesday I may be on the Macon campus in case somebody is there in person. And then on Thursdays, I'll be in 238 Warner Robins in case somebody wants to join in person.
okay, I'm just I know I have a class in Macon that's from I think it's 2:15 to 3:30, so it's kind of hard just to get any in-person help when I don't understand any something in the lesson.
Okay. Yeah, if you're not able to make it to class, attendance does not count against y'all. And barring any technical issues, normally once the video is done processing, I share it in Blackboard in the announcements. And, at your own leisure, you can view the video. And if there was anything I went over that you had questions about, like you can tell me like the exact, minute, second where that problem is. And you can email it to me. You can screenshot and email it to me, and I can help you that way. See, I'm very flexible.
Okay, that makes sense. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I think I mentioned your name in this video. Is that okay? I need your permission.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. These confidentiality, student confidentiality stuff. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, attendance will not count against you because technically it's not mandatory. You can show up to class. Um, wait until I give the green light when everything is over, hopefully, where I can start coming on the campuses, and then you're more than welcome to attend in class in person if you want to, or you can join us from home or watch the videos later. You know, you have that flexibility yourself. Okay, I think that was it regarding my math lab. If you notice, each assignment has a due date. These are soft due dates. Um, our policy in the math department is if you miss the original due date, that's fine. Just you have 7 additional days from the original due date to get the assignment in. So if you miss something, that's fine. The homework has no point deductions for being late, but the quizzes is 5% off per day that it's late until the 7 day period is over. So if you're off by a day, that's fine. It won't count off as much. But just keep in mind if you miss the soft due date, you have 7 additional days to get the assignment in before it's past due for good. Now, if the 7 day window is passed and you missed an assignment, you can no longer make it up. It will turn into a permanent zero. If it's a homework question, excuse me, a homework assignment, and yeah, I always try to update, insert zeros so you have a more accurate average. A lot of these questions, like the first block of lessons, with the exception of lesson 5, is going to be kind of a brief review. I'll just go over the important things you need to know. Um, and few lessons in the second block are also a review from Cal 1. So I'll just go over the important things you need to know. Now, I think that's everything I needed to tell you guys about my math lab. Again, reach out, hit me up through Blackboard if you have any problems with registration. Under going back to Blackboard, under course information, uh, one document that's there is your schedule, and it has same thing you just saw in my math lab. It's got the assignments listed and the soft due dates. The exams are the only thing that do not have a late policy. If you just miss them, let me know so I can schedule a new due date for you. Now, what I wanted to spend the greatest amount of time on today is the course syllabus. Can everybody see the syllabus on your end? Okay, thank you. My instructor information is here. I do check my phone number, phone messages, and I probably won't call back for now until like I'm on the Macon campus, things settle down. So I do check phone messages, and in return, I email you back saying, "Hey, I got your phone message. What's going on?" Office location and hours online for right now until I can get back on campus. Mr. Michael Rozemski is the division head. He's my immediate supervisor. And Ms. Shannon Durham is the dean of academic affairs for us. They're wonderful at helping students out if there's something that we as instructors can't help you with. Meeting days and times 2 to 3:15 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I no longer give bonus assignments, but everything that you do for a grade is in my math lab. Make sure that when you buy your code, that it's based off of this Thomas calculus book. If not, you're going to get the wrong code. It's going to mess everything up, and you'll have to get another one. If you don't have reliable internet/Wi-Fi service, contact one of these providers. I got this list from a Teams member last year when COVID started. So if you need internet, check out these sites. I don't know if they still offer these deals, but you can always check them out. Materials and supplies, just standard stuff. Laptops and tablets are okay to follow me virtually. You may be able even to follow me on your phone. I hadn't tried that yet, but definitely laptops and tablets. You can follow me those ways. Oh, that initial welcome email that I gave y'all, where it's got the green join meeting button. You can use that same join meeting button to join future lectures. So you don't have to, you're not going to get I don't think you're going to get like a separate email for each time we're supposed to meet. You can just use that one join meeting button to get into WebEx. Course description and objectives and delivery methods. Read that all your own. Course policies, you can read those on your own. If you're joining me from off campus, say like at your home or maybe at an office or at work, make sure that you mute your microphone so we won't hear any background noise. And also turn your video off. So I didn't know this until recently. If everybody has their video on, your webcam on, then it could possibly interrupt your lecture. Classroom policies, you can read those on your own, pretty self explanatory. The one thing here, when I say put information form, I unfortunately don't have one ready, so you can disregard that. If I need to contact you, I can look it up through our local intranet. Not having a My Math Lab code will cause you to fail the class. Now, if you want to buy the My Math Lab code through Pearson itself, the website's easy to remember. It's just mymathlab.com, and you may have to create an account or register first, and then you can buy a My Math Lab code. It's probably cheaper, and I think all you need is either a debit or a credit card to buy the code from Pearson itself. If you have a question, just if I'm in person, of course, you can raise your hand, or like y'all did here, use the chat feature, or you can just call my name, Mr. Arnold, and say, "Hey, I have a question," and that goes for the entire semester. Student support services, if you need help, counseling, um, library services, special pops, disability accommodations, military and veteran services. And if you want to self report that you're going through some stuff or getting behind or just not doing well at all, you can go to student resources section on our CGTC website and fill out that form, and a Teams member will get in touch with you. We also have a statewide Teams alert system. So if we feel like that you're not, something's going on, your grades are slipping, you're not doing too well, we can also fill out a Teams alert on your behalf. But keep in mind, just like with reporting any possible disabilities, uh, any Teams alert, I try to keep it as general as possible. And if you want to disclose the information, that's fine. Are there any questions up to this point? All right. Attendance. No, sir, not for me at least. Okay. Attendance. Um, Most important thing is to get that intro questionnaire uh, assignment done. That way you secure your spot and you won't be in danger of getting kicked out. You can read the attendance policy on your own. It spells out what we expect of you. Last day to withdraw is here. Course evaluation. Everybody's got to take the exams regardless of your average. No exemptions allowed. 50% quizzes. The homework counts 20%, and the midterm and final each comprise 15%. And during the semester, once I've finished grading a block of assignments, I update the grades. So your averages, barring any errors from me, will always be current and up to date and correct. Under assignments, I think I've already mentioned this. Uh, Final exam is not comprehensive. It only directly tests material taught after the midterm exam. um, Online homework slash lessons, unlimited attempts, with the exception of the occasional multiple choice question. It may have just one attempt. The quizzes, two attempts, I keep the higher score, and the exams, just one attempt each. The makeup slash late policy, I've already gone over that with y'all. This is what I do for all my classes. I do not drop grades, but at the end of the semester, I will replace your lowest quiz grade with your higher exam grade, whichever one that is, be it your midterm or your final. I will not drop any grades, and the only grade I will round is your final average. So let's say, for example, test one, you bombed it and got a 15, which I know is not going to happen. And let's say you made a 95 on the midterm and an 80 on the final. Well, I'm going to replace that test one score with the 95 because it's higher. Other policies and procedures, you can read those on your own. I have a quick synopsis at the end, summarizing everything that I've mentioned. The one thing I have not shown you that I'm going to go back to in just a minute, for some of the quizzes as well as your midterm and final, you will be required to submit work in Blackboard. The drop boxes and grading policy are all located under the work submission folder in lessons in Blackboard. So before I'll go back to that in just a minute and show you where it is. The last thing I want to go over on the syllabus is COVID-19 update. COVID is ever changing. Right now, Omicron is running rampant, and I'm sure there's more versions of COVID down the road. So, CGTC does an excellent job following CDC guidelines and the Department of Health to give you the most updated and correct information. So, please read this carefully, and especially if you're impacted by COVID, if you've caught it or you've been around somebody who's got it, here are the return to campus procedures. Mr. Eric Beecham is our exposure control coordinator. So if you guys get exposed to COVID, stay home, just watch the lecture videos or join in or just catch up on other work until it's safe for you to return to campus. Now, what I want to go back and explain is under lessons. For most of your quizzes and exams, you will be required to show work. Here's the folder that you go to. And let me backtrack a second. Let me see if I can open this in another tab. Let's say you're trying to figure out, well, which questions does Mr. Arnold want us to show work for and submit? Well, here's the submit work schedule. Have the quiz number, exam, and you have questions here. So for the first quiz, you don't have to submit any work. Second quiz, submit work for questions 4, 6, and 11, and so forth. And I try to space it out where you can have a break, where you're not submitting work for every single quiz. So that's why I kind of got it spaced out a little bit. Grading policy, you must submit work, otherwise a 50% point penalty per problem will be enforced. In other words, if you answer the question right, at the very most, you can only get half credit. Now, let me go back and show you. Let's say you have completed the work for 4, 6, and 11 for Module 2 quiz. And what you can do the easiest way, you can either use like a scanner app, or you can do it kind of old school now. Take a picture of your page or pages of work and just upload them to the Dropbox. Just simple as that. So let's click on our folder, and Module 2 quiz work is what we want to get ready to submit. And the module quizzes, of course, will have two submission files, submission links, because you got 2 attempts. If you submit the wrong work or you submit the wrong attempt and the wrong link, let me know, please, before the deadline. That way I can reopen the Dropbox and you can resubmit the correct work or submit the correct work. So we'll click on this link, and you can write whatever you want. Say, hey, I turned in, this is so and so, and then you attach your file. and click submit down here. Easy as that. So you'll be doing that for some of the quizzes and both exams. And again, if you make a mistake submitting the wrong work, just let me know and I can reopen the Dropbox for you. Are there any questions or concerns about anything we've gone over today? Any questions or concerns? What I'm going to do later on today is when the video is done processing and I can share it with you guys, I'll put it in Blackboard under announcements when it's finished processing. But looking ahead to next week, I'll probably be teaching from home again. And we'll actually start with some of the lessons in the first block of assignments. So we'll do that to kick things off. If there are no more questions, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time, okay? Y'all take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.